Hi everyone, hope you are all doing well. Now, this is an interesting use case which somebody asked me if robotics could help. It's about comparing two files, especially a configuration file in which we have a key on the one side and then the separator, which in most cases is a equation sign, and then the value. Now, what you see on my screen here on the left hand side is the input file, and it has got a key and a value, key and the value, and so on and so forth. There are several different key value pair in this configuration file. The second file on right is input 2. What I've done is I have intentionally moved, let's say, the key on like check.ssl true somewhere right in the middle of the screen. So now this is a scenario which we would find very often in our different environment, be it production test or UAT and so on and so forth. And we have all done this. We have done mistakes in moving the configuration file from one environment to another environment, or some very silly type of mistakes. Say, for example, if the allocation of memory for JVM maximum was supposed to be 1 gigabyte, here it is mentioned as 1000, whereas the actual value should be 1024. Now, how do we go about comparing such file to say that first the values are identical? Second is that if there is a key value pair which exists in this file, such as in this example environment or development, it does not exist in this file at all. And second use case is if a key value pair exists in second file but does not exist in the first one. And another constraint is that the key value pair could be all over the place in the file, not in a sequential order. So therefore, I'm not aware of any file editor or any other utility which can actually compare a key with a key value pair with another file, irrespective of the line on which it occurs. So this is the use case. So what I've done is created a small metabot which does exactly this, and it'll present us with an output file which will have output telling which all key value pair are completely identical, which key value pair exist only in the first file, which key value pair exists only in the second file, and which key value pair which exist in both the files but their values are different. So this is let's say a small use case which I wanted to do, and I can see its practical implementation in many production development environment. So what I have here is a small metabot which is just using a small DLL file to compare the files and basically get the responses out. And then here is a task bot in which we just simply call the metabot, and the output of the file would be stored in one of the output values which you specify in output file path. So let's run it. So I'm going to be supplying the first input file as input1.txt, the one which you saw on the screen, and the second file path is input2.txt, and the output of those comparison results, I intend to store them in output.txt file. So if I now just run this taskbot, it should, yeah, so it says files compared successfully, output stored in output.txt. Now let's have a look into our output.txt. So here we have got output.txt just now created. Now let's look. So what we have here is we just try to define the legends. What does, because every line is prefixed with what it is. So all the lines which has ID in front of it are identical lines in both the system. So now this is the place where we saw that the memory settings in the production environment, which is the input file, was 1000, and whereas in the development environment it was 1024. So it's a very minute difference, but it can have serious impact on any production installation. So here we have the difference. So for the sake of comparison, we could simply ignore all those identicals ones, and we can focus on the files which are lines which are different. And st means the file which is a key value pair which is only present in the first file, and this was the line which I had pointed out only existed in first input file. nd is the second key value pair which only existed in the second file only. So this is all I really wanted to showcase here. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer those. Thank you very much. You all have a wonderful weekend.